Hello and welcome to the Sunday Guardian show by Joyita Basu. I'm the editor of the weekly newspaper published from New Delhi. And today I have with me my colleague Jayaprakash, who is in Bangalore. And we are going to discuss the elections, Karnataka that happened, and all that, as JP says, Nataka in Karnataka. So, JP, what exactly happened? Exactly happened? Say, for example, why such a huge delay in getting a chief minister after getting a thumping majority, a convincing mandate? Why did the Congress undergo? I mean, there was an actual turmoil. So, what exactly happened?
See, there is history to this. For almost 3 years since DK Shivakumar took over as the KPCC president, he has been nursing this ambition of becoming the chief minister, and he's never been, he's open with that. He's made open statements about it. He's asked his community to back him so that he becomes
That is
chief
the
minister. And
Pokalidas.
yes, and it didn't go well with the Siddaramaiah camp, and this rivalry, came out in open. So much so that 6 months before elections, the Congress High Command had to summon them both to Delhi. Sat them over and told them that we just have to be united. Only then we have chances in Karnataka. Otherwise, this is one bright spot in Congress. Remember, the Congress has been on a decline for the last decade. So the revival of the Congress party post the Bharat Jodo, there was some hopes because the Bharat Jodo got some traction in Karnataka. 540 kilometers of Padayatra, Bharat Jodo Padayatra by Rahul Gandhi. Saw a lot of people coming together. It was all organic. This being the case, they did, ensure that there is no public statements about who is going to be the chief minister. That was contained for some time. And we saw how unitedly they put out they fought the elections together, and 135 seats, the rest is 60. But then, once this mandate was in, the ambition of who's going to be the next chief minister started off, and hectic parlays already started. 13th was the results when it came out. 14th, the Siddaramaiah camp started ringing up people, and DK Shivakumar spoke to the High Command and said that this is my time, this is now or never. This being the case, the Congress had a huge daunting task as to how to resolve this logjam. So they called for a CLP meeting on 14 at the Shangri-La Hotel. And when the observers came, there was K. Gopal and Surjewala in that meeting. It was a closed door meeting where Siddaramaiah said, let's go for a vote and then decide. In 2013, 120 seats was grabbed by the Congress party. And within 4 hours, all this process was over. Mallikarjun Kharge and Siddaramaiah both were in fray. Voting happened. Kharge got about 25, and the rest of 90 odd votes went to Siddaramaiah, and he was declared. In 2023, when you have a brute majority of 135, a carefully crafted resolution was passed as against the wishes of Siddaramaiah, and the resolution was that the CLP leaves it to the Congress president to take a decision as to who the next CLP leader should be. Thereby, the Congress High Command empowered itself with the authority to decide as to who is going to lead, and action shifted to Delhi. Siddaramaiah was very, very skeptical. He, tactfully gave out an interview on the day he was coming to Delhi on 15 morning that he's got 85 votes and the people have voted for him, and there is no way that I won't be the chief minister. Those statements, in fact, was a message to the High Command that he is not going to simply cow down or sit out if the High Command decides other way. Now, having said this, he sets the stage and then he came to Delhi. DK Shivakumar took another day to come to Delhi. It was his birthday on 15th. So he had a lot of these pujas and havanas and homas. He came to meet his, gurus, spiritual gurus. He took the blessings. He was unwell. And this was also a message to the High Command that, he is in no mood to give in, and that he will take his time as to when he could come to Delhi. The next day morning, he flew to Delhi. And from there on, you see all these hectic parlays started. Stories getting planted. They're saying that Siddaramaiah was decided, and that 18th was a swearing ceremony. And Siddaramaiah camp, in fact, calling the DPIR, the official missionary here, and the Chief Secretary's office to make arrangements for a huge security bandobast outside Siddaramaiah's residence. In Karnataka Stadium, they started making arrangements for oath-taking ceremony. At around 2:20, Surjewala comes to Karge's residence, and outside he blasts the media, saying that who's giving you all this false information? This is misinformation. If somebody is planting, it might be BJP because nothing is decided as of now. And then, the message was that no such arrangement should be made and we would decide the next 48 hours. And they removed the security rings and also those barricading at the Kantirava Stadium where the oath taking ceremony was supposed to happen on 18, which is today. Now, post that, lot of maneuvering happened. There was a one-to-one meeting between DK Shivakumar and Mallikarjun Kharge, between Siddaramaiah and Mallikarjun Kharge. During these meetings, both the observers, or rather the general secretaries, were around, facilitating this, back-end channel talks and all that happened. Then Rahul Gandhi meetings happened. Then lot of these developments went into late night. The late night political discussions and debates that happened as to what the repercussions would be. All options were on the table. What if Siddaramaiah is not made? Will he break away from the party? Or will he nurse any grouse and keep attacking the government like how it did with the JDS Congress coalition government in 2018? What if DK Shivakumar is not made the chief minister? Will he break away like how Himanta Biswa Sarma broke away from the Congress party? Like how the BJP has been encouraging or entertaining Sachin Pilot in Rajasthan? Would the situation be volatile? And once these talks went in that direction, and DK Shivakumar did speak to Mallikarjun Kharge, Surjewala, Rahul Gandhi, and he said that he's a loyalist. He just wants to sit out. He doesn't want to be part of the government if he's not given the chief minister's post because he worked for it, and nothing less than chief minister he was ready to take. And he also ensured and told them that I will not backstab or blackmail the party. I will sit out of these elections. Now, post this very stubborn, adamant DK Shivakumar stand, the call went to Sonia Gandhi. Now, around 12:30 is when, I've told by my sources that Sonia Gandhi reached out to DK Shivakumar and said that all your sacrifices will not go unnoticed. We know what you've done for the party in the last 30 years. We know that, you went to jail for us, and that when the time comes, we will definitely, give you what you aspire for. But for now, it was important in the larger interest of the party that, you don't upset the motion, things which are put in motion by the Congress High Command. Siddaramaiah should be the chief minister for the next 30 months. After 30 months, he's agreed to give in to you. I know in certain states that these have not happened, but then I guarantee you, the AICC president guarantees you, Rahul Gandhi has given you a word. We will ensure that after 30 months in 2026, we will make you the chief minister. But for now, you should continue as the KPCC president because there are parliamentary elections coming in 2024. And his organization skills are very, very important. 28 seats in Karnataka with their own government in place would be a good challenge, a gauntlet thrown at him, and he would take up that challenge and deliver for the party. And that when time comes, we will definitely, ensure that a smooth transition of power sharing happens. And at 12:45 to 12:50, he then talks to Mallikarjun Kharge and said that I will go by whatever Madam Sonia has told me. She's promised me, so you can go ahead with the plan, and I am with you guys. And then at 1 o'clock is when DK Shivakumar faxed the Karnataka governor, Tawarchand Gehlot, that Congress has a majority and will stake claim. And we have called for a CLP meeting tomorrow, which is today. This happened yesterday, by the way. So today, 7 p.m. is a CLP meeting, post which they are going to go to governor and give that letter of support with signatures of all those MLAs signed on it. And then 20th, of course, is going to be the swearing in ceremony. So there's still one day left for the other big challenges, Joyita, for the Congress party to
which are
tackle?
which are the other big challenges?
Now, the first hurdle was 135 seats. The second hurdle was, of course, your who's going to be the chief minister. Number one and number two has been fixed. And the next big challenge is the demand of Dalits, the demand of the minorities, demands of the Lingayats. Yeah, Lingayats, Dalits, and Muslim minorities for a DCM post, and who would make that cut to the cabinet berth. Remember, in these elections, yeah.
Yeah, but can I just make an intervention? I was just reading that, it has been decided that there's only going to be one DCM, meaning only one deputy chief minister. And because from whatever I have heard, the Lingayats want a deputy chief minister's post. I think the Dalits want, and also the Muslims have been, although I think they've got only 9 MLAs, isn't it? They're asking for 5 cabinet ministers, including important ministries. So, I mean, that's a major problem, isn't it?
I'll tell you where the demand stems from. These three communities, all communities have come together and voted for the Congress party, and that is why 135 seats they have. Now, as far as minorities are concerned, 86% of minorities have voted for the Congress party this time. So the message was loud and clear. 86% of the total Muslim population has voted for the Congress party. In about one or two constituencies where JDS had strong chances, they have chosen JDS. For example, in Chanpatna and Hassan. Chanpatna was won by Sri Kumaraswamy. There is a sizable 27% Muslim population there. And in Hassan, about 17% Muslim population where they voted for JDS because they believed that they had stronger candidature. In rest of the state, 86% of minorities have voted, and this time they say that for about 75 years we have supported the Grand Old Party, and the state has never had a chief minister who is from minority community. So at least give us the deputy chief minister post as a token of respect. Now the Dalits, there are 51 reserved constituencies out of 224 constituencies in Karnataka. Out of these 51 reserved constituencies, 38 of those seats are won by SCs belonging to the Congress party. Now, left-right politics played by the BJP didn't, pay well for them. In fact, G. Parameswara, who was the Dalit leader and also former deputy chief minister of Karnataka, he consolidated the Dalit votes for them. And, he believed that Malikarjun Kharge being at the helm of affairs, he thought that he will do justice to the Dalit community. So he is also handling for the deputy chief minister's position. But remember, the, one community that made all the difference for the Congress party this time is the Lingayats too. We cannot forget them. We have seen more than a dozen Lingayat leaders migrating to the party. There were anti-Lingayat sentiment narrative created by the Congress. It was quite organic also, simply because you saw leaders like Jagdish Shettar, Lakshman Saudi leaving the party. Remember, when you see the numbers now, 17 are the number of Lingayat MLAs in the BJP and 37 in the Congress party. So there is a shift of sizable Lingayat votes, which have now supported the Congress party. Shamunu Shivshankarappa, he is the president of the Veerashaiva Lingayata Mahasabha. He had a letter Sonia Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge that Lingayats have shifted after 29 years, and you should make Lingayat the chief minister so that you consolidate the Lingayat votes more, and that Yediyurappa and the likes would become irrelevant in the days to come. So the Lingayats too have been asking for DCM post. Now, if this is the third hurdle, Joyita, the fourth one is who is going to make it to the cabinet. You have 29 MLAs who are more than 7-term MLAs. Such is the seniority in the Congress party. They have given tickets to candidates who are one candidate. Shamnu was talking about. He's 96-year-old, and he is contested and won. And then you have over a dozen of them who are who have the caliber to become chief ministers in the state. So you have central leaders who have moved to state politics, including K.H. Puniappa, he was union minister, DK Prasad, he was general secretary in charge of many states. He was quite relevant during Ahmad Patel days. So you have plenty of these leaders. How do you accommodate them? There is a restriction on the number of cabinet ministers you can have, which depends on the total number of seats that you have got. 135, there is a ratio which is calculated. It cannot be more than 40. So there are about 60 of these eligible ministers, ministerial candidates, the caliber that they have, but you can accommodate only 40. So in the days to come, you have many, you can't satisfy all the quarters. So this is going to be a government with lot of riders, conditions, and turbulences. You cannot ignore that fact because you're starting this government with a unhappy deputy chief minister. You're starting the government with three big leaders from three big communities who have not been given the deputy chief minister's position. You're starting this government with financial duress. You're talking about implementing 5 guarantee schemes, which is going to be a huge burden on the exchequer, close to about 42,000 crores. So now, after winning the elections, the Congress party is now working on the riders, putting the filters, so that this scheme is not universal in nature. So the conditions, terms, the fine print are being worked out by the finance department even as we speak. Now, further to that, you will be many disgruntled MLAs who are not part of this government, and huge demands to be met. Remember, Karnataka is second most resourceful state in the country with highest GST contribution, second to only Maharashtra, and Bengaluru now being one of the global cities. So too many senior leaders, very little portfolios to distribute. How are they going to balance it out and take it forward? So it's a jumbo cabinet with majority of the seniors in it, most of them unhappy. Even Siddaramaiah, for that matter, Joyita, he is not a happy man. He wanted a 5 full year term for himself. The body language of Siddaramaiah was quite evident that he has made several compromises. He had with him MB Patil, who was camping in Delhi. He was a deputy chief minister aspirant. You had a Muslim along with him, Zamir Ahmad Khan. He was a deputy chief minister aspirant. He had to give in that there will be only one deputy chief minister, and 2 of his probable deputy chief ministers will not get that position. And also the power sharing pact of letting DK Shivakumar take over after 30 months. So, lot of riders, lot of conditions, lot of unhappy people in the jumbo bus, which is now traversing through the skies. At around 3 o'clock or 3:30 is a flight from Delhi. The special flight will be landing. Big CLP meeting happening, and they are going back to Delhi tomorrow. There's going to be a marathon meeting on the cabinet, the final list that's to be drafted.
So, JP, ultimately, it's Delhi who will be controlling the reins. Because, left to themselves, the factions will be just at each other's throats. Because we have seen the kind of, unhappiness that was there, even otherwise. We were hearing that whenever the cameras went off, DKS, meaning DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, were speaking against each other. So that kind of animosity, that animosity.
That's true.
And the thing is, you see, what certainty does DKS have that Siddaramaiah is going to give up his chair for certain after 30 months? Because we saw what happened in Chhattisgarh. TK Singhdeo's people are still grumbling that Bhupesh Baghel just said, no, I'm not giving up. And in spite of Rahul Gandhi's promise, it did not happen. Because so if that happens, then it's a problem, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. So many things have worked out behind the scenes in DK Shivakumar. All the Congress party will never acknowledge that there is a power sharing agreement. You cannot put it out in the public domain too because it's a secret pact. Now, on what basis the secret pact has happened? The gentleman promises of Sonia Gandhi.
It cannot
absolutely not. It doesn't hold. It doesn't hold any ground in the reports. So it is going to be gentleman's promise. And power sharing is a myth in Congress party. It's never happened in the 2 states that we were discussing earlier. Yes, there would be camps for sure. West, there would be intervention from the central leaders time and again. Yes, there will be a lot of Delhi visits knocking on the doors of Mallikarjun Kharge. Remember, he is also from Karnataka, so he knows the state well than anyone else. And then there is also a fact of conflict of interest. So when it comes to Karnataka, how can he do justice? We have seen whenever there is a case in the court, and even if the judge is connected, remotely to that case, he recuses himself. But here he is in thick of action, resolving the issue because of the trust that they have on this man. Any overtures by Mallikarjun Kharge, which shows that he's playing favorites, that will be a disaster for the Congress party. So there are plenty of checks and balances that needs to be put in place if you have to pull through these next 5 years for the Congress party.
But immediate concern is 2024 Lok Sabha elections. What is the BJP doing about it, and what are Congress's plans to counter it?
Well, Joyita, 2024 is going to be very, very important from the Congress party perspective. Every 5 years, the BJP has been growing in numbers. 2014 to 2019 to 2024, you have huge list of achievements for the Congress party to show and tell people. And above all the development projects and advanced science and technology industries, you have the Ram Mandir which is being unveiled. So that is going to be also part of the big narrative that Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. Now, for the Congress party, the immediate next challenges are to retain the two states, which is Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, and then also dislodge the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. Though they were in power, we saw how Jyotiradittya Scindia broke away from the Congress party, leading the BJP to come to power there. So next three states are important. But as far as Karnataka is concerned, DK Shivakumar has been asked to hold fort of the Pradesh Adhyaksh for the next 1 year till the parliamentary elections are over. So his skill sets would be put to test, would be used for the parliamentary elections. A very resourceful person, a great leader who leads from the front, and to counter the huge machinery of the BJP. DK Shivakumar is the man for the Congress who they are betting big. Now, Karnataka voters are quite prudent. When they have to choose a local government, they look at local issues. When they have to choose the central leader, they look at national issues. So that being the case, it is not going to be easy for the Congress party just because they have a government in place in the state of Karnataka.
Yeah, because this is what I have been hearing. The same people who have been speaking of voting for the Congress in the assembly, they are saying that we are going to vote for the BJP in the Lok Sabha. And it is being said that if the BJP has been able to retain its vote share of around 35-36%, there is a possibility that its vote share might cross 40% in the Lok Sabha elections next year. So that will be very tough for the Congress. That's going to be a very tough fight. So this 1 year is very critical definitely for both parties.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the best show for the BJP has happened from the state of Karnataka. If you talk about states which are down the Vindhyas, in 2019 elections, there are 28 parliamentary seats in Karnataka. 25 was won by the BJP. 25. One independent from Mandya was won by Sumalata, again supported by the BJP. So they scored 26 out of 28. Two constituencies. One was Hassan, which is the bastion of Devegowda. He had given that seat to his grandson. He won from that seat. The other one was Ramnagara, which is DK Suresh, brother of DK Shivakumar. These are only two constituencies where they were able to beat it. But it was a clean sweep for the BJP, and they are expected to repeat the same show. But there were some turbulences these elections. We have seen how they got rooted out. But the parliamentary elections are fought on national issues. And as I mentioned earlier, the electorate of Karnataka is very intelligent, and they will look at the issues which are centered to the national perspectives, and they are going to vote on those.
Great. I think it was a great discussion. We should do it more often. Let the government be sworn in, and then we will get back again and have some, how Karnataka is progressing. Thank you, JP. Thank you for being on this show. And thank you, viewers, for watching. Until the next time.